What moment or event led you to believe that you belonged in local government?
Thanks. I thought a lot about that question, and I don't have just one like premier moment that shined through. But in my career, I've worked in nonprofits for a couple of years, and then I've worked in state government for a large portion, well over, I don't know, close to 15 years. And then, of course, local government. And what has always been true to me, even when I was a nonprofit and state government, is that local government had the ability to maneuver and to make changes. And, when I worked in state government and both nonprofit, I was always trying to partner with local government because that seemed to be where the partnerships were at. And so when I transitioned to local government, I just knew I was at home then. So I didn't have like one breakthrough thing, but I have loved working in local government, and it has the ability to really make change, and having that grassroots connections to community has been really important to me.
That's fantastic. So, in terms of the qualities that you look for or that you probably exhibit yourself as a leader in local government, what would you say are the most important qualities?
Boy, the ability to be nimble and agile, because local government can change on a dime. People often say it takes a long time to get things done in government, and sometimes that's true. Perhaps changing policy, but for the most part, I don't think it's true in local government. We respond to what the community needs are. We respond to what's happening on a state level, what's happening on a federal level, and that can change very quickly. And so you have to be agile and make your policies, whether it's flexible or rework them, and be able to share with community and constituents what's changing, why is it changing, or perhaps it's what the changes you're taking different direction from the community and constituents. So that's definitely a skill that any leader in local government needs, as well as the ability to listen, the ability to connect, and to know that the primary work does not occur in the office. It's going to happen wherever your community congregates. And so you've got to be able to be there.
Right. That's a really good point. The challenges that you faced in your career, obviously you haven't spent your entire career in local government, but what obstacles have you had to overcome?
Thanks for asking that. I thought about that as well. And I think a lot of what I would say would resonate with what we're hearing on a national level, particularly being a woman of color in workplaces that have primarily always been settings where I've been supervised or my coworkers are white males, and particularly of an older age. And while I have learned a lot and benefited, and I've had some great mentors, there's also been many challenges. And so, it's always being one of first, or the one of onlys, the only in the meeting, the only on the project, and whether that's female or minority or both. So that's definitely, there's been a lot of challenges associated with that.
How have you overcome those? I mean, what tactics or skills or strategies have you sort of adopted to get you through those tough times?
Yeah, thanks for asking that. So I'm not quite ready to sing a song of We've Overcome, but there's definitely been advancement in that area. And I would say connecting with mentors, and really a lot of internal resolve, becoming comfortable in my own space, becoming comfortable perhaps with making others around the table a little uncomfortable, and just trying to speak my truth and hoping that my voice, whether it's a voice of equity, a voice of color, or a voice of inclusion for other women, is heard.
That's good. What about this relates to the overcoming the obstacles. Has your ICMA membership helped you at all with that, overcoming obstacles?
It has, particularly the networking. I mean, ICMA is terrific. I'm on day 2, and I've already made new friends and reconnected with old friends, and that's really what ICMA is about to me. The sessions are great, the learning opportunities are great, but so ICMA has helped, and as we're revisiting ethics and tenets and becoming involved in different committees, and again, just being able to have that voice at different tables and hope that it can help permeate through and change the culture.
How about the highlight of your career so far?
Well, it all kind of dovetails. And again, being the one of onlys or first at the table, there are many highlights within that. Seeing how I'm able to help those connections, how I'm able to lean in. It's been incredibly important to me as I've advanced in my career to be able to be a mentor to others. And so that has certainly provided highlights in my career. But also being able to be involved in various community projects. As I mentioned, I've worked in, or I don't think I mentioned, but I've worked in different states on the local level. And so being able to be involved in projects that you know are very meaningful to the community and make an incredible difference.
So in terms of issues facing local government, what do you think are the biggest issues facing local government right now?
Unfortunately, I think we have many challenges on the horizon that we may not quite be equipped to deal with. So first that comes to mind are many of the cybersecurity challenges. Local governments are often behind in technology, and not because we don't have the skill and expertise, but funding and resources and tax bases aren't always there to keep up with what we know we need to keep up with. So definitely cybersecurity, which, local government shouldn't feel alone. We see large Fortune 500 companies struggling with the same thing, but that is definitely an emerging issue. I also think about workplace culture in terms of, how are we recruiting and retaining next generations? And so local government has not always pivoted quickly enough to, are we allowing the appropriate telecommuting and workspace, and how do we do that with those community assurances and continuing to move the ball forward? So I think those things are definitely, and at the same time, often we're experiencing a lot of people retiring, which is great. They have worked long, hard careers in local government, and we're seeing that institutional knowledge exit. So how are we transferring that knowledge to the new workforce leaders that are coming in? So I think those are two really large issues. And then I would also just say, one of the things that I've seen lots of ICMA topics on this time around is civility and building trust within communities. And that is definitely something that governments, whether it's local, state, or federal, is facing right now.
What has been the most, I was going to say the most valuable aspect of your ICMA membership? But you kind of always
Yeah,
talk.
okay.
One thing, Jimmy brings this up all the time, is that he wishes ICMA would focus more on counties or be more responsive to counties. And I was just wondering a little bit about that. What could ICMA do better in terms of, servicing counties?
So I actually think, I've only been involved in ICMA for about 6 years, and I do think I've seen a shift in that, because yes, I've often heard it said that ICMA forgets, fully what that C stands for. I would say continuing to have membership on the various committees and boards that represent counties, and counties of all sizes, rural counties, those that have more urban compositions. And so I think if ICMA continues to make strides there and to have that diversified voice across all platforms.
Very good. Last thing is, what would you say to encourage someone to join ICMA?
Oh, well, I'm happy to say I've recruited several ICMA members. So, I talk about, of course, the networking, the sessions, but the resources, the webinars that ICMA puts out, the different learning opportunities, all of the things in between these fabulous in-person gatherings, they're incredible. And the fact that we can share those with our staff, our coworkers, and that it's not necessarily just for the sole membership, or at least I hope it's not, because I've been doing it wrong, because I share it all. So that is definitely something that I think, because often, we all belong to multiple organizations. And I can say without a doubt, I have gotten the most from ICMA in terms of just being able to look on the website and click on a resource that I need, or being immediately connected with somebody in a partner jurisdiction that has experienced what I'm looking for, and they're always happy to share their resources.
Great, excellent. Anything that you want to cover that we didn't get to cover? I wanted to ask for the podcast, but I know that we've been talking about, is it noisy? Yes, okay.
Okay.
So that was what the ethics moment was about. I thought that was kind of fun.
Boy, now's the time for ethics, isn't it? Well, maybe we could do that at another time or anywhere, but yeah.
And then, so in terms of the questions that ICMARC asked, the biggest challenges, you already answered that. What role do retirement benefits play for local government employees? don't know.
I
That's
don't
good.
know.
Okay, good. We're done.
Good. Well, thanks. I appreciate being included and